Hello and happy Friday. Hey, it's been a while since I've been here facilitating our 5-minute-ish FriYAY episodes, but hi again in case you have missed my face. Casey McCoy, I'm the CEO and creative director here at Create Captivate, and I am going to lead this episode of 5-minute-ish FriYAY today. And something that I wanted to talk to you all about and share some thoughts on is that's really relevant in my world, particularly right now, that I think a lot of you this will resonate with, is some of the lessons that we've learned in marketing as we've come out of as we're starting to creep out of the COVID pandemic. So I know it's not over. I know there's still a lot of concern. There's still a lot going on with all of this, but we're really starting to round the corner. And I noticed that for my two businesses, we've been doing a lot more in-person events and meetings. And it seems like here in Virginia in particular, businesses are back open and kind of in a more normal-ish kind of groove with everything. So sorry, by the way, you're in my car with me today because I am in between appointments. Went to BizConnect this morning at Gather, Virginia Beach. It was super fun. I worked from there a couple hours, just grabbed some lunch, and now I'm about to go get my hair done. Gonna treat myself in the middle of the day, but still be working as, foil and bleaching and all kinds of fun stuff are happening over here. But anyway, so I want to talk to you all about the 3 things that we as a team have learned and seen our clients really learn during this whole pandemic, and how we can use that information and lessons we've learned to improve the way that we market our businesses, because things are drastically different. Like, this COVID really not only took a toll on a lot of businesses very financially, but it drastically changed the way that consumers purchase and consume, and the way that we all just operate on a day-to-day basis. Like, it drastically changed the way that we all go about life and participate in life. So as marketers, we have to stop and make sure that we're not only aware of those changes, but we have to make sure that we have adapted to all of those, and that we're promoting our businesses, and we're marketing our companies, and that we're, catering to the consumer and client in the way that they now consume information and purchase and behave. So that's what the gist of this little chat today is going to be about. So if you have questions along the way, please drop them in the comments below, and I will be happy to answer them on the spot. I don't know everything, but if I don't know the answer to your question, I will be resourceful, and I will get you an answer later as soon as possible. So throw those questions at me. And let's just have a chat about what we've learned during this COVID pandemic in terms of marketing and promoting our companies. So I think one of the most important lessons that we've learned right off the bat is that, what I was mentioning is the way that people consume information has definitely shifted. So if you aren't aware, here's a fun fact. In 2020, everything digital, but particularly apps, everything digital usage increased exponentially. So, for example, with app downloads, apps went up. App downloads across the board increased over 30% last year in comparison to years past. And digital across the board increased, right? So there were a lot of changes in the way that people consume information. A lot more people were online a lot. Our time of being online, the way that we viewed things online, and all of this has changed. So what does that mean in terms of marketing? It means that the competition is thicker than ever before. And so you have to change and adapt the way that you deliver content to your audience. And so, maybe it's a question of, would an app for your company be relevant? Would that be something that would be helpful to you? That can be a really expensive endeavor to not only have created, but to maintain and keep up to date. But there are some good alternatives too. So just a fun little fact for you. For those of you who have a Shopify e-commerce website, if you're using Shopify, then you can direct your consumers to download the Shopify shopping app, and then they can access your store and any other Shopify stores that they frequent much easier. And it's a even more mobile friendly option than just going and visiting your individual website when they want. So I thought that's just kind of a fun little extra or bonus item that Shopify in particular offers to the e-commerce crowd. So but think about other tools that we can use, because not only do we want to keep in front of new eyes when we have all this competition for space, getting in front of all these other people who are spending much more time online than ever before, but it's also one of the lessons that we learned along the way is, how can we continue to keep in touch and stay engaged with our current customers and clients? So, questions, just kind of general systems and operations questions, like, do you have a good CRM in place? Are you using that to your benefit? Are you using that to its full potential? Do you have a good way of communicating, whether it's through email marketing, or do you have people subscribing to a blog? How are you coming up in front of them over and over and over again and staying engaged with the audience that you already have? Maybe it's through an e-newsletter, maybe it's through blogging, maybe, it can be a myriad of options there. But think about how you can not only attract new people, but also retain those clients and customers you already have. A lot of clients come to us and are like, okay, I need more business. I need more business. Well, it is significantly less expensive to retarget your current clients and customers and keep them coming back for more and more than the cost of acquisition for a brand new person who's never heard of you before, and taking them through that whole, because you think about it, you have to take them through that entire customer journey of that whole brand awareness and recognition, and then you have to build that trust and credibility and authority with them, and then you have to, there's so many steps in that initial brand new client or customer journey that you don't have to keep doing if you're just trying to retain the customers and clients that you have and get them to be your brand advocates and share your information and send you referrals. So that's one way to go about it and one way to think about it. The second lesson that we really learned is kind of piggybacks off of that, about how people really have changed the way they consume information, and how do you stand out in that crowd now, that very competitive digital crowd. And it's really, I say it all the time, guys, and I don't want to be redundant, but I'm going to be redundant. And it's really quality over quantity. Hey, Ashley. So quality over quantity is really more important than ever before, because we have such a wildly competitive digital space, especially now when businesses are reopening and, everyone's competing for this attention. And so how do you make sure that the effort that you are putting forward, especially because many of you have, much smaller marketing budgets than pre-COVID. So you need to do more with less. How do you do more with less really well? you invest into humanizing your business, because that is the biggest benefit, in my humble opinion, the biggest benefit of being on these platforms and having a social media presence, having a nice website, having all of these things going on in the digital aspect of your business, is that it gives people who otherwise you wouldn't know an opportunity to connect with your company and decide if you're the right fit for them. So your audience is not everyone, and you want to just consider, how do I show up in a way that really highlights who we are? Who is this brand? Who is Create Captivate? What do we stand for? What do we really bring to the table? And what sets us apart from all these other companies that are out there doing very similar things to what we do, or the exact same things what we do? You know, what sets us apart, what makes us unique? Like, what is our value proposition, and how do we show that in an interesting visual representation through tools like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all of those different options? So I think that, you know, this is really a time to consider, if you're trying to relaunch your business or come running out strong out of the gate. One of the best things you can do is to get some good team photos, some videos, some good quality content that's authentic to you, and create your own unique, sorry, I just had to get a notification off my screen. Sorry, my finger was all blurry up there. But really, how do you show who you are as a brand, as a business? How do you get your audience to connect with you emotionally and really like you, you know, like you really just want to show off who you are and eliminate anyone who's not a great fit for you right off the bat. So I'm gonna toot our own horn on this for just a second. I'm so proud of my team and what they've been doing, because for the first time in my business history, we have steady marketing for ourselves now. And so not just these FriYAY videos, this was something we started a couple of years ago. Side note, we're about to hit our 100th episode. What? Episode 100 is happening in August, and stay tuned for that. We're going to like blow the roof off of this place, not my car, but we are going to have a party. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to do a lot of extra stuff for that FriYAY episode, and you're going to love it. And there will be like giveaways and freebies and all kinds of cool stuff. But the FriYAYs were something that we started doing steadily. Well, now our team, if you haven't started following us on TikTok, go over and follow us on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, go over and follow us on Instagram. We're at Create Captivate, and we are doing quick little snippets of education and tips and advice and all kinds of information that, you know, is a part of our everyday, but you all may not know, or you may not understand. So we're trying to like really show you guys that education is our forte, and so we're doing that through those videos. And so you can do that for your business too. You can do all kinds of fun stuff. If you're a retail store, if you're a service-based business, no matter what, there's a fun way to go about that. It just takes a little bit of planning. A little bit of planning and plotting, a little bit of content capturing, but it really is, I think, more than ever before, important to show up and really ditch those stock photos, ditch those stock videos, and show up in a unique, interesting way that shows off really who your brand is. So that's number 2. And then my third key point that we learned through COVID is that, oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. I don't have my notes in front of me. Okay, so number 1, see, this is why lives are great, because you know what? Everybody messes up. I normally have my little sheet in front of me or my laptop in front of me, But while I'm sitting here in my car, I was like, no, I've got this. It's fine. But it's real, right? It's real. So hopefully just the relatable aspect to me fumbling through this without my notes in front of me is relatable and shows you that I'm just a human trying to do my thing, and I have, a serious commitment to you all to go forward and try and keep this moving. So the first lesson was just that, people have really changed the way that they consume content. The second is that that quality over quantity is really what matters at the end of the day. And then the third is adaptability is crucial. So in business, I've always been a little extra cautious. I stretch things out. I probably take way too long to make important decisions, and I sit on things for way too long. But the pandemic really taught me as a business owner for both businesses that you have to be willing to make big, bold moves without hesitating. You have to trust your gut, which is important. I feel like it's kind of, a split, maybe like 70-30, like 30% gut, like 70% data and numbers. And if you don't have a data and numbers nerd on your team or someone who can help you with that, please let me know. I've got all kinds of recommendations. That's the reason, data and numbers and gut instinct. That is what allowed me and my best friend to open a retail store in the middle of a pandemic. We're about to hit, I think tomorrow is our 7-month mark in business, and we are killing it, like doing so well. And so what really has helped us along the way is that we have that balance between the two of us, that she is that systems, operations, finances, and I am that creative, ideas for miles kind of person. And so that has really balanced each other out really well, and we're doing really well because of that. So that's one thing that we really learned, though, is that we have to be measuring, we have to continually be looking at those numbers, and we have to make decisions, and we have to make big, bold moves based off of the data and the numbers and the analytics that are available to us. And that's so true in the marketing world, because all of these platforms have all kinds of analytics and insights and information that it automatically gives you, and it can be a little overwhelming to look at. And when you're caught up in the day-to-day of business and you're just moving and going and doing, you don't always, it's hard to throw on the brakes and say, okay, all right, let's take a look at all of this. So Shizuka and I, my co-owner at Posnickety, last weekend, we on one day, I think it was I don't remember what day it was, but we had a day where she was in the store. Yeah, it was Saturday. She was in the store and I was off, but we Zoomed and we dug into our analytics and reevaluated, because after 6 months in business, our marketing strategy is looking a bit different than we imagined it to, in some good ways and some bad. So, we took a look at how's our website performing? Are we ranking for the keywords we want to rank for? How can we increase that? What moves can we make? And we made some big decisions too. So based off the numbers and analytics, we stopped some marketing tactics we were working on. We had been doing these videos, where we were recording Zooms with our different vendors, and the people that we get these products from for our store. And it was a lot of time. It was a lot of time to get it all organized and coordinated and scheduled, and then to actually do those videos and record them and edit them and publish them. And at the beginning of opening the store, we were like, this is going to be gold. Everybody's going to want to watch these videos. They're going to be so informative, so helpful. You guys, they tanked. They were not good. I don't think it was that the videos weren't good. I think there are a lot of different aspects to why they didn't perform as well as they maybe could have, or we hoped they would. But you know, it's kind of painful to like take a look at your numbers sometimes and go, ooh, I invested all this time and money and energy into this and it didn't work. But that's why we need to do it more regularly. And I think the pandemic really brought that to light of we need to stop more often and reevaluate where we're pouring our time, money, energy, and resources so that we can make sure that we are getting the most bang for our buck possible. So those are my 3 lessons for you on what we saw and the 3 biggest lessons that we observed during the pandemic. And as we're coming kind of around this corner, hopefully more out of it. Things seem to, you know, be going pretty more normal around here, but those are the 3 lessons. So we've got to adapt and grow as we go, and I hope that this video helped you kind of light a fire under you and get you in that mindset of wanting to really take control of your business and your marketing and make sure that you know, you are doing the best that you can and getting the most that you can out of it. So, well, thanks, Ashley. Thanks so much for watching. I had so much fun doing this, you guys. I don't do FriYAYs often anymore because I have this amazing, talented team in place that's been taking over. So I hope you're watching those as well. They'll be taking over the rest of the month. I will be back for that 100th episode on August, I think it's 6th. Is that Friday? So stay tuned for that. Like I said, we're gonna basically have a party on Facebook Live, and we are going to do giveaways and all kinds of fun stuff. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, just crush it, go after those goals, and I will see you soon, my friends.